That, of course, was Tony Braxton. Love should have brought you home. So today is the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And one of his famous quotes is, "You should be judged by not by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character." Character being the most thing, those inner qualities. But all too often, we seem to be entering an age where people often question those very things that are indicators of your character. In Los Angeles, people are openly saying, well, the lesbian fire chief was a affirmative action hire, and she should have never been there, and these are why things are happening. You often hear people say, "I don't want a DEI." In other words, what they're telling you is that the only way to have some jobs is to be a white guy. I've heard everybody from comedians to political pundits to talking heads on television opine about, "Oh, I'm not prejudiced. I just want to make sure I check somebody's qualifications." As we speak, a man who's going to hold one of the highest offices of the land is now being questioned by a Senate. And his only qualifications are having a TV job. We're going to have any number of people. We have a guy who, became president, and his only qualification was he played a rich guy on TV. So when is it? And people seem to not understand is when you say, "I want somebody who's qualified," what you're saying is that you think they should be white. Because it's oftentimes, almost all the times I hear it, it is somebody who thinks that somebody has a job that they shouldn't have. You're calling Karen Bass a DEI hire. She was voted on by the citizens of Los Angeles. She beat a wealthy white guy. She won fair and square. She won the election. So there wasn't a selection process. She won. And somebody having white skin, is that the sole predicate? You would never be suspicious if you walked on a plane and you didn't, and as long as, is it the color of the person's skin that assuages you? A lot of people, their entree into the corporate world or to the judiciary certainly is going to Ivy League schools. You know who gets to Ivy League schools more than anybody else? The highest percentage of people. They are legacies. That means their mother, father, uncle, somebody else went, so they got to go. But would you question their qualifications? White is not always right. Somebody being white is not always an indicator of whether they'll be successful or not. And if it is true that only white people should run things, why have things gone so horribly bad all the time? Why are people all this change that people are hankering for, all these things they want to change, what do they want to change from? You have been in charge of virtually everything. Who runs the insurance industry that people are mad about? Who runs the petroleum industry that people are mad about? Who runs the banking systems that people are upset about? Virtually every industry is controlled by white people, and people are always talking about how those industries need a realignment and a change. So if you got it all right, if white is right, then why do so many things go wrong? And why is it when you believe somebody who shouldn't have that job is at the top of it that you point it out? Otherwise, it's status quo. Did you say that when people were dying by the busloads because somebody didn't know what they were doing? You didn't bring that up. So it's interesting, on a day when a man often characterized and had conversations about the character and what it means and the content of our character and how we should be judged by that and not the color of our skin, that we're going in reverse. We're going in reverse. We're doing the opposite of what the man who made this day famous, his birthday famous, we're doing the opposite of it. We don't want to judge you by the content of your character. We don't know what you have inside. When the outside is all that matters to a lot of people. That's a little note from the GED section. Got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.